Hello friends, welcome to Read With Me. Today we are going to read Mr. Putter and Tabby Pour the Tea. The author is Cynthia Rylant and the illustrator is Arthur Howard. And Mr. Putter and Tabby are one of my family's favorite books. We love the Mr. Putter and Tabby adventures, and I hope that you enjoy going on the adventures with us as well. Chapter 1, Mr. Putter. Before he got his fine cat Tabby, Mr. Putter lived all alone. And look, he's sitting here on his steps looking lonesome. In the mornings, he had no one to share his English muffins. In the afternoons, he had no one to share his tea. Look how sad Mr. Putter looks. He's all alone. And in the evenings, there was no one Mr. Putter could tell his stories to. And he had the most wonderful stories to tell. Look, he's sitting here all by himself thinking about all of the stories that he knows, things that happened to him. All day long, as Mr. Putter clipped his roses and fed his tulips and watered his trees, Mr. Putter wished for some company. He had warm muffins to eat, he had good tea to pour, and he had wonderful stories to tell. Mr. Putter was tired of living alone. Mr. Putter wanted a, what do you think he wants? What's he imagining? A cat. Chapter 2, Tabby. Mr. Putter went to the pet store. "Do you have any cats?" he asked the pet store lady. "We have 14, she said. Mr. Putter was delighted. But when he looked into the cage, he was not. Why do you think he's not happy about the cats? He has 14 to choose from. "These are kittens," he said. "I was hoping for a cat." "Oh, no one wants cats, sir," said the pet store lady. "They are not cute. They are not peppy." That is why he was disappointed. He actually wants a grown-up cat. He does not want a kitten. Mr. Putter himself had not been cute and peppy for a very long time. He said, "I want a cat." "Then go to the shelter, sir," said the pet store lady. "You are sure to find a cat." That's a good idea, to go to the shelter to get an animal to adopt. Mr. Putter went to the shelter. Look at all the animals that need adopted. "Have you any cats?" he asked the shelter man. "We have a fat gray one, a thin black one, and an old yellow one," said the man. "Did you say old?" asked Mr. Putter. Which cat do you think Mr. Putter is going to leave with? That's right, I think the old one. The shelter man brought Mr. Putter the old yellow cat. Its bones creaked, its fur was thinning, and it seemed a little deaf. Mr. Putter creaked, his hair was thinning, and he was a little deaf too. Look, here's Mr. Putter looking at the cat. I think the cat is wondering if he is going to like it and take it home. He did! So he took the old yellow cat home. He named her Tabby, and that is how their life began. Look, he's sitting on the swing looking at Tabby. Now he has company. Chapter 3, Mr. Putter and Tabby. Tabby loved Mr. Putter's tulips. She was old, and beautiful things meant more to her. She would rub past all the yellow tulips. Then she would roll past all the red tulips. She's enjoying the tulips. Then she would take her bath among all the pink tulips. Mr. Putter clipped roses while Tabby bathed. Look, Tabby's down here taking a bath, and they are being company for each other. Neither one of them is lonely anymore. In the mornings, Mr. Putter and Tabby liked to share an English muffin. Mr. Putter ate his with jam. Tabby ate hers with cream cheese. In the afternoons, Mr. Putter and Tabby liked to share tea. Mr. Putter took his with sugar. Tabby took hers with cream. And in the evenings, they sat by the window, and Mr. Putter told stories. He told the most wonderful stories. Each story made Tabby purr. On summer days they warmed their old bones together in the sun. On fall days they took long walks through the trees. And on winter days they turned up the opera very loud. Look, they're singing along. After a while, it had seemed as if they had always lived together. Tabby knew just what Mr. Putter was going to do next. Mr. Putter knew just where Tabby was going to sleep next. Look, she's playing with his bath water. And look, she's sleeping in a plant. And in a bowl on the refrigerator. And on the mailbox. In the mornings, each looked for the other as soon as they opened their eyes. Look, Tabby's waking them up. Maybe she's wanting breakfast. And at night, they each looked for the other as their eyes were closing. Mr. Putter could not remember life without Tabby. Look, Tabby's up here on the roof, and Mr. Putter is bringing out the tea. Tabby could not remember life without Mr. Putter. They lived among their tulips and trees. And look, he wrote Putter and Tabby on their mailbox. They ate their muffins. They poured their tea. They turned up the opera. And they enjoyed the most perfect company of all. Each other. I hope you enjoyed Mr. Putter and Tabby Pour the Tea. Do you have a special animal that you spend time with, like Mr. Putter spends time with his cat Tabby? Please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. Until next time.